Evades.io is a game where you go on a journey, exploring 40 area maps and dodging enemies to reach the end. To help you, you have heroes with special abilities. Now, Evades.io is a team-based game, meaning the more players you have, the easier it is to progress. Ordinarily, these teammates would have to be real people, but I wrote a bot that could be my own teammate, making the hardest areas look trivial. This is the story of how I made a bot that broke Evades.io. Okay, so most of this video will be gameplay, but first I want to explain how the bot works. The bot needs to be able to do two things: detect the player and simulate key presses. Detecting the player is simple. Every time the game wants to draw a circle to the screen, it calls the function ctx.arc. Now I can override this function and run any custom code I want whenever the game tries to draw a circle. So for example, I can make the fill style rainbow like this, or more usefully I can save the player's X and Y position. And that's all we need to detect the player. Next, to simulate key presses, I had to know which element to simulate the key presses on. So I wrote a function that searched through all the elements and told me which ones responded to events. Then, once I found the correct element, I wrote these simulate key down and simulate key up functions that allow me to press keys using code. And after writing the logic to use abilities and follow the player, which I won't show in full because I don't want evades to be filled with hackers, I finally got the bot working. So I opened up 4 tabs on my second monitor, gave them all the script, and began doing a run on the map Central Core Hard. I also met this guy Wildfire who was super chill. He helped me with a lot of runs in this video, and in general he's a super cool person, so if you ever see him in game, tell him he's awesome. Anyways, enjoy the highlights of this run. Even with the bots, CCH was still not a free win, but I had a plan to improve them massively. See, right now the bots were playing as guests, meaning they could only access the 2 starting heroes. But if I made the bots accounts, they could unlock all the heroes, some of which had way more overpowered abilities. So I made the bots accounts and did the first 10 areas of Central Core to unlock the Morphe. And then I started a run on Catastrophic Core, an even harder version of Central Core Hard. Here's how it went. So the Morphe kinda just trivialized one of the hardest areas in the game. And the best part was, the person who collected the second most victory points that week was watching. Now, I did a bunch more runs with the bot, but these montages are getting kinda boring, so I'll only show the last area of every map I managed to complete. The last map I did with the bots was Frozen Fjord Hard, and there's a pretty good reason why it was my last. 20 areas deep, a moderator comes on and warns me that if I keep botting, I'll get banned. So of course I try the oldest trick in the book, which is to pretend I don't have the chat open. And I begin to think the mod is buying it until my bots start disappearing one by one. Eventually I die, and when I log back in I see I've been banned for 7 days. And that's the end of my story, but it doesn't have to be the end of yours. If you're still watching this video, I encourage you to go out and try evades.io for yourself. It's a really cool game. Also, as you saw, the community is very friendly. In fact, the mod even apologized for my ban. So yeah, go try out Evades if you haven't already, and thanks for watching.